Hey everyone,
And
it's your girl Lisa Marie, Bank Life 24/7. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, go ahead and hit like, go ahead and subscribe. I know it's been a minute, but I got a treat for you today. We got a guest on the show. He's going to be a regular. It's Kenneth Place. Ken, go ahead and introduce yourself.
hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Kenneth Place. I tell you, I'm getting out the shout out for everyone. It's an honor. It's a privilege to be on this show right now. Because why? It's an honor to be on this show because I'm very, very much pleased. I feel like I'm part of the family now. One of the topics we were going to discuss about was about the missing girl from the University of Pittsburgh. The guy who she was with, Mr. Stephen Rebay, he's finally returned to the
All
U.S.
right.
Mr. John Stephen Rebay, he's finally returned to the U.S., but he had to return under extreme circumstances because the INS had what they did was that they put a lease on his passport. But I'm glad, thank God, they finally reconsidered and let him return home to him and his family where he's safe. No,
Right. Right now, but Ken, okay? So y'all listen up and see how we gonna talk about this, right? Because there gonna be some of y'all like me gonna say, did they let him go too quick? Now, yes, he does need to go back to his family. I understand that and so forth, and he needs to tell them hi and give them hugs like he said. But I personally feel that number one, if God forbid she's not alive, this body will turn up some way or somehow. I believe that. So you've heard it here on Bank Life 24/7. I believe if she's alive, she's going to turn up. I'm praying about that. Y'all go ahead out there, my subscribers, people that run across this video, make sure you go ahead and pray for her. Pronounce her name for me, Ken. Co- uh,
Miss Sudika Konika.
all right, I'll just stay with that. And so I'm believing that she's gonna turn up. Now, was it still too early? Now I know they're only supposed to hold him for 48 hours in the Dominican Republic legally, and they did kind of restrain him more than that. But I personally believe it's too early for I think there still should be some more questioning. Who should they question? They need to question her friends. I'm sorry, you were there with her before she went with him on that beach. And why wasn't her phone with her? I don't care if I'm going swimming. That was a joke. But seriously, most of us are not going anywhere without our phones. What do you think about that, Ken? Her friends had
Well,
a phone and her wallet. Now the wallet I can understand. My phone, how many of y'all are giving up your phones? So I still feel that's kind of strange. And even her parents said she doesn't go anywhere without her phone. Go ahead.
frankly, right now, with her having her phone her side, I mean, it's not easy for you to like bring the phone with you into the water. But still, as
Yeah,
long as your phone is on, as long as your phone is on the beach, it can still pick up calls when it says missed call it says missed calls on the screen of your phone. So therefore, when you come out of the pool and you see a missed call on your phone, you're able to return whoever sent you.
exactly. How many of y'all are not gonna? You have a beach chair. First of all, the chair had her um it had her, oh my gosh, everything is escaping me today. It had her covering, I'll just call it that for now, and it had her shawl if you want, and she had her shoes on the side. So why couldn't she leave her phone to the side? I don't understand that. Yes, somebody could take your phone, you put it, most of us gonna tuck it underneath, our stuff, and maybe even underneath the shoes you play around, just to make sure that nobody takes our phone. But most of us are not giving up the phone. And again, her parents already said that she does not go nowhere without her phone, and her friends had her phone. Back to you, Ken.
Her friends, first of all, the friends, and being that they had the phone, they should easily know about her whereabouts. They should have been easy been in direct contact with her because all they had to do was right. If she had a phone, even though they weren't able to call her from the phone, but still they know she was coming back from the beach. When you coming back from the beach, eventually you're gonna show up. So if you don't see a person for like over 24 hours, or 48 hours, you declare them missing. You send the lifeguard, everybody put out the search team to find out the missing. Being that she hasn't been able to turn up, which I hope she will, because there's still an ongoing investigation. Still, I mean, you have to know what a person like you have to know the motive and opportunity about everything.
Right. And so we do know though, right, that the
Hmm.
phone that they got back to the hotel about 4:15ish and she wasn't reported. I know her father stated, I don't know if the uncle, the gentleman that was with him is another family relative, stated that they received a call about 3:30. Now, on parts of the news episodes and all the news media, it said 4 o'clock. She was reported, and I guess that means approximately four. She was reported by her friends as missing. So from 4:15 in the morning to 4 o'clock at night, almost a 12 a group of us, and I have a whole real big group of people. But with 4 or 5 of us, hey, where is it? Come on. There's no way that she should have been declared that late missing. Because if he returned 10, I'm sorry. The time he returned is the time. Hello? Yes, the guy she was with returned back, but I don't see my friend. And they say she around here somewhere, but we don't see her. Can you say her name on the loudspeaker, please, so she can return to the room? I mean,
Miss
am I
Sadiq,
right? Am I
yes,
right?
you're right. You're 100% correct.
Yeah, because it's no way. It's no way. Now, some people may believe this was an honor killing. Do y'all know? Do you know about the honor killing? The honor killing is where families are embarrassed by, whether from India, from, I've seen a film from Iraq where a young YouTuber was killed by her father because she left Iraq and she went to Turkey and she became, she had about 32,000 subscribers. Uh, and she went back to Turkey to visit her family. I mean, Iraq to visit her family, but in a time, and it was a period of about 6 years, she had met a man from Turkey or from another country, or I think he was he from Serbia? He was from another country, but because he wasn't from her country and from her class of Iraq, the father killed her, and she was afraid to go back. She even tried to meet at a mutual place, and still, it's called honor killing. This is where the parents, usually, or a family relative, will go ahead and kill you based on family's tradition. So this is a real thing. So you can look it up on YouTube. It's called honor killing. And so people were wondering, well, I hope it's not on, but I don't believe. No disrespect to her family. I do not believe it was honor killing. Not that I know, but I don't believe this is what this is. Because he was the last one. Joshua Rebe was the last one to see her. So, and everyone's saying it sounds like Natalie Holloway from Aruba. What do you think, Ken?
What I think is no one can disappear that much without a trace. If you're the last one, no one can disappear without a trace because first of all, you have to know their last whereabouts, where they seen. They couldn't disappear off the face of the earth. Like someone on the island or someone had to see her. I'm saying. I mean, I don't. I just hope she wasn't kidnapped, or I hope she's still alive. But hey, I just figure right now it's still an ongoing investigation, and I hope she turns up soon.
Exactly. Now, Ken, there were two payments. Her last two payments was to, oh man, was a sailboat in,
Hmm.
what is it, PayPal. So it had a
Yeah,
little sailboat, and she sent money to a new user, and it was
yeah,
just a icon of a sailboat. So I'm thinking maybe she was planning to pay for sailing, as
yeah.
well as I think it's called Coco Bongo. Now this is
No,
a nightclub that they had. Listen, I was looking at this nightclub on YouTube. This nightclub is out of this world. So those were her two last payments coming from, because they're gonna check your payments to see if
right,
you sent any money out. And the other one was a sailboat, and I'm like, well, I hope the sailboat didn't come and get her. Like, I don't, you understand? So I was like,
right.
it's kind of strange. So I'm sure the authorities are looking into that. That was kind of strange.
Hmm.
I believe if he was the last one to see, and yes, but he is also a lifeguard.
Hmm.
He was that by trade, by profession, a lifeguard. So come
Hmm.
on, if anybody should have made it out the water, even though he was drunk, it should have been him and her. And he said he tried to help her. In his defense, he tried to help her out. He brought her. He said He was able, they got caught up in the wave, and he was able to bring her out a little, but then he said, because he was drunk and so forth, he just dragged himself, I guess, to a beach chair and just passed out. But wasn't he thought she left the island or left? And suppose, but if she left, guess what? The camera did not pick her up coming back. And from what I understand, you can't avoid the camera once you leave the beach. Like it's a certain path you have to take if you're coming back to the hotel.
Right.
Like 20 different paths or anything. So they would see her on camera, and they do not show her coming back from off the beach. So that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, Ken? What do you
What do
think?
I think?
What is
What,
your
what I think?
think happened to her actually?
What I think happens to her is, I mean, she must, like I said, there's a possibility she could have been swept off by a tide and
Hmm.
swept off and driven, or someone else could have kidnapped her. What I'm thinking is that, like I said, when they have cameras on the beach, when you have cameras on the beach, you're visible by the cameras. They can see. But what I'm also thinking is that also the security, the policemen, they should have dogs out there too, because dogs can even sniff your trail also.
They
A,
did.
a,
They
dog,
had
a dog can sniff your trail. So if the dog
right.
should be able to pick up your last trail, and pick up your last trail where you've been, they can be able to sniff you out though. But I don't know. Well, what happens after that? I mean, must have been some kind of big tide of waterfall that really swept off everything, the dogs, the prints, and everything.
But they said if it's a tide, in about when did this happen? March 6th? That's
Yes.
about what? 19 days?
Hmm.
19 days?
That's 19 days. That's too long.
Come on, because it was 4 a.m. So you might as well say 19 days. How, come on, that's too long, Ken. That's too long. And
That's
you
way
ain't
too
show
long.
up. Your body didn't show up. Now, there is an investigator who investigated Natalie Holloway's disappearance, and he
Mm-hmm.
said he believes she's in the water. Based on
Mm-hmm.
his experience, he believes something else happened. There is more to the story, he said. He does not believe she's in the water. And guess what? It's 19 days. I don't think if you're in the water, you got to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on it. If they weren't on it but they were on it. They had the FBI came in,
Mm-hmm.
Interpol, the international, whatever police.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been on this, and nobody. Come on, where's her earrings? Does she have on? Maybe she didn't have her earrings. She would put her earrings to the side. I don't know if they found any earrings. I know some of us will wear earrings until we go right in the water and be like, okay, we just
Yeah.
don't walk around. Was there earrings? Was there something else that we're missing? Now he came back, I think, without a shirt and his shoes, if I'm not mistaken. So where are they? Where is the rest of his stuff? Did
Right.
she have him? So some people believe she might have been. I had a someone in my family. Shout out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Said, hey, it's a shirt. Well, because you if you're fighting for your life, you might not get the face because you could go back, but I'm gonna get your shirt. So where's your shirt? Where's your shoes? Does he have any cuts, bruises? I mean, we got check scratches. Come on. Now, I would like to believe he didn't do it personally. It would be great to feel, but we have to go through all scenarios. Come on. This is our
Yeah.
life we're talking about here. What do you think?
Well, but as I said, I don't think he did it either. But still, you can't still rule out all the suspicions that you have. I mean, you have to go by your gut feelings. First of all, I just hope her body wasn't mutilated. I just hope that that she wasn't killed, murdered, and put in some kind of secluded place where nobody can find her. I hope that didn't happen. But you can't rule out anything right now. You have to take out what clues take you. Wherever the clue takes you, there you think, well, we're on the beach here, or we're underneath we're gonna take on the beach, underneath the sand, or behind the house, or whatever. Any kind of territory you see out there so far, you don't want to rule out anything. So you try to find out the best evidence you can, gather evidence from everybody.
Holloway. With this particular case is being compared to Natalie Holloway from Aruba. Now, the guy that killed Natalie Holloway just confessed a year ago that he did it. Now, I wasn't even aware of this. I just found this out that he confessed a year ago that he did it. They had no evidence, couldn't time her mother would not leave the island in Aruba. And I remember that case because that was the case that broke a lot of us. And so they're comparing this particular case to that case. What do you think about that, Ken?
What I'm thinking about is what I think about is that because remember, and both they both happened. They both happened under the same kind of circumstance. Well, okay, they were both missing in islands, man, but it's not exactly identical, but
Hmm.
it's the same kind of pattern. They
Exactly.
look at the same kind of pattern right now. They both missing on different islands, and
Mhm.
nobody's saying their whereabouts. But only there's only one person confessed the murdering something, even though we didn't have no
Stuff, add years or whatever.
additional charges.
They're not gonna give him the death sentence.
Yes.
So he was the last one with her, from what I understand.
Uh-huh.
So just like Joshua Reed is the last one, and they could not pin nothing on him. Never found the body up to now.
Uh-huh.
Nothing. Same thing. Can't find his body. Body disappears on the beach. No
Uh-huh.
evidence. Now, some believe maybe it's underneath the sand. Now, what they need to do is go with metal detectors. Maybe she wore, they said she had on an anklet. Best thing to do is go with what? I heard, again, one of my family said, listen, take the little metal detector and go through the sand. You'll see something go beep, beep. And maybe if you don't find her, I hate to say this, you might find somebody else. You never know what and who people are burying underneath the sand.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Get something
Right.
to and go through the sand. Why not? That was the
Uh-huh.
last place she was seen. You have to do it with a tooth comb,
Right.
you
Uh-huh.
know. But it's very unfortunate, very unfortunate. And
Uh-huh.
her family is saying they want her to be declared dead so they can go ahead and mourn.
Right.
So what do you think about that? Her being declared dead after 19 days and no body. Should she
After
be?
declare after 19 days, I mean, you have no. To me, there's other perspective to put it in after 19 days because a person don't take they take long to come up missing. So therefore, and you haven't reclaimed the body yet or anything. So therefore, to me, that would be your first preference. That'd be your first choice right now. You don't want to go down that route, but you have no other choice. I mean, because remember, if you're declared missing after 15 days, I mean, hey, we have to look at it. But we can't.
In
Yes, I
19
believe she
days,
drowned. I believe she drowned because remember with a big tidal wave, with a tidal, unless you're a big superhero or unless you're a real beast swimmer, how you gonna survive under all that? Like a
right?
normal human being. Because remember, when you on the tidal wave, remember you're gonna lose oxygen. You're gonna lose oxygen because you can hardly breathe, and then also you're gonna lose sight of where you are also. So therefore,
But
those are major factors you gotta look at.
right, but they took boats out. They did
Uh-huh.
everything, and her body still has not. They said in the other cases, there have been cases like this, and it took 2 days for the
Hmm.
body to show up. It should not be
Right.
19. This is what's being alleged.
Hmm.
That was a really big tidal wave, I guess. But how far could it
Yeah.
go?
Right.
That's what I want to know. How far should they start from and bring it back?
Right. You have to go wherever the evidence takes you at. I'm saying
Right?
because you remember you're not gonna guess it on your own. You just or you're gonna use whatever you're gonna use whatever mobile device. Use a scanner, metal
See,
detector, dogs, everything. You have to use whatever it takes to see where
right.
the investigation takes you.
Issue is not that she might have drowned. My issue, which I'm finding it hard for, is that from 9:55 or around there to 4 p.m., that big window, that's the window. It took them from 10 to 4, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to get it together to call the police. That's too long for a missing person. That's too
I
long.
guess maybe
That's too.
she's under.
He
Maybe
didn't
she's
come.
the. Yeah, she's probably unconscious, somewhere unconscious. That's
Oh,
all. That's the only
oh,
other thing.
so we're not talking about her. We're
Yeah.
talking about her friends who got back to the hotel. You got to back to
Wow.
the hotel 4:15 in the morning.
Uh huh.
Around 9, 10, 11, you're gonna be looking around. Let me go see what so and so doing. And her friends did ask his friend, "Hey, did your friend get back?" And he probably
Right.
said, "Get back yet?" You never know because he got back after them. They left about 4 something. He left about 9 something. And they see him coming back from the beach by himself. Joshua Rebe was coming back from the beach by himself without her. He did not go straight to the authorities. He didn't go to see if she made it upstairs. Okay, fine. She probably say he thought she went with her friends. But then his friend told him, hey, what happened to the girl you was with? They looking for her. See? And all the way from there to 4 p.m., you wait. You're not a professional finder. You should have called the authorities. You didn't do it. And I know maybe fear set in, like they're gonna blame me. Oh no, what we gonna do? I don't know. But you cannot wait that's too long to wait. Because if she was closer in the water, you're giving it more time for her to push out. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Making it harder for us to find out where she's at if she did indeed drown. You're helping the narrative against you, actually.
Well, like I said, all that time to disappear. First of all right. Well, okay, like you said, you found her friends, and then you found out who she was with right now. Right now, nobody knows where she's at. Everybody's asking each other questions, and man, you have your theory. I have my theory, but we're not able to reach any kind of conclusion whatsoever.
There,
So therefore, we're
y'all
not able
let
to
me
be.
know in the comments what y'all think. Go ahead.
Uh-huh. So we're not able to reach no kind of conclusion at all. So therefore, we assume that hey, we have to try to find out how does she disappear, and we know how she disappeared, but how far did the tide take her? We want to see whether did she survive
Okay,
from it. I mean,
one.
her body remains haven't been found yet. So we're still trying to investigate that.
Okay, number one. How far did the tide take her? Go ahead. We're
How
still
far
looking
did it take?
at names,
We
right?
want to
Or
see how far did it take her like a
how
mile away or
body.
acres?
Hmm?
Did it take her like a mile or acres? That's what we're trying to find out. And where did the sweeper at? Did they bury her like under the sand, under the beach, man? We're still trying to find that out right now. Like I said, I just hope wherever she is right now, I just hope she's still alive and breathing, and we're
I,
still able to find her remains.
now, some people say it could be kidnapping, trafficking. So
Uh
this
huh.
another. Because don't forget, we got the sailboat Venmo. Did somebody take her? You know,
But what we have to do is that whatever if you everybody was in the hotel, right? You get a list of all your customers that stayed in that hotel, and you interrogate each one. When was the last time you saw her, and when was the last time you seen her? You have to investigate everybody. You try not to rule out any kind of suspects or any kind of witnesses.
that's true. But
Investigate each person right now. Okay, they might not be truthful with you. The one who investigated, the one who probably kidnapped her, he might not be truthful with her. But what you have to do, you have to find out what is at this time, and you gotta have a witness. You gotta have a witness to verify where you was at. I mean, if you have a good alibi, everybody has to have a good solid alibi where they was at the time and the place.
everybody's on vacation at this time.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They're not, they're not. I'm not saying they're not investigating. I'm not saying they're not asking questions because they said 2 a.m. Now it was 4:15 that her friends left the beach, but at 2 a.m. between 2 a.m. at 2 a.m. at Punta Cana. Sorry for y'all that don't know. We're talking about the student that went missing in the Dominican Republic at Punta Cana. All
Uh-huh.
right. So now everybody said at 2 a.m. the lights went out. So they had a little electrical problem at 2 a.m.
A power
Now,
outage. Yeah.
a power outage. Now, I believe that they have a video showing that she was in the nightclub that night or in the bar, rather. And they're considering that maybe somebody spiked her drink and that's how she became that drunk. So now they're looking into the possibility that this was planned, maybe. So that's the new video that's circulating now.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
was
Okay.
this and if so, who planned it? Those are the little things. And who planned it?
Yes.
But I believe, and you're hearing it here on this channel, Bank Life 24/7, and I'm praying that her body, if she is not alive, her body first of all, number one, we want her alive. I don't care if they took her, whatever. We want her alive. That's number one. That's the first thing we're praying for. Number two, if not, her body turn up. Her body turn up. That whoever did it doesn't get away with it. And if he did do it, that he confesses. You know, because everybody in his town is saying he's such a great guy, he's such a this and that. That he will confess if he did it. That he will do a confession and say it was an accident. Because right now that's what he's saying. It was an accident. He feels she fell back in the water and so forth. But if he knows for sure that she did fall back in the water and it was an accident and I tried to grab her and her body continued to go and I couldn't get to her, the truth, then the confession all the way. A true confession that, hey, I really did try to help her, but she actually did. You know what I mean? I really couldn't get her to come back, or she really did drown, and and it be a true confession. But that's what he's saying, that it was an accident, and maybe she fell back. But if he's seen her fall back in the water, he should say so. Because everybody say, oh, he's such a great guy. They're gonna interview. All of us will get an interview. Hey, so and so is such a great girl. Well, if so, if I messed up, I gotta say, hey, I messed up. Or I was drunk. If you're drunk, you're really unstable yourself. So, well, I'm Lisa Marie, and I have at our guest Kenneth Place. He's gonna be a regular on the channel. And so again, we're talking about this terrible case of the Dominican Republic student who went and who is missing. Let me know what you think about this particular case. Uh, Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And Ken, go ahead and sign us out.
Okay, everybody. I just hope you enjoyed all the topics we discussed. I just hope you enjoyed the show. Please continue to tune in with us and give us all the support that we need. We're glad to hear from you. We're more happy to have you on our show. God bless everyone.
God bless you. And we'll be taking care of hot topics. All right. So tune in with us at least once a week with hot topics. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll see you on the next video. And I'll see you in the comments. Thank you.
Oh, goodbye, everyone.